You're good.
Stare down two.
Here's the trick.
What's the trick?
I'm looking at myself in your eyes. Looking at you. I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at me.
That don't even make sense. What? What was that? This is the key, is what you're saying. All right. You can see you in my eyes.
I can see me.
That's a lie, Charles.
That's a poem.
What's the key to stare down?
You just stare into their soul.
Into their soul.
Yeah.
Wow. You're deep. Okay. Dang, dog. Damn, yo, that's serious, dog.
Your eyebrows.
My eyebrow was doing that. It was? It didn't. All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm so proud of you right now.
Let's just sit down, man. Come on. What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Spice Adams, and I'm excited to be showing you how Glory Kickboxing has been taking over the city of Chicago. But before we get into it, let's kick it with some of these fighters.
Pushed him with that. Boom. Low kick. Boom. That's my favorite combination.
Which one?
Hook, low kick, anywhere. Hook to the head, hook to the body, push him down, drop the low kick.
Oh!
He out of there. He out of there. Ate that leg up. Man, see, he tough. He down now. That leg, one more touch, it's over.
What does that feel like, though?
It feels like when you get knee between your pads.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
That's what it feels like.
Charles, take one.
Charles Rodriguez! So how did you get into kickboxing?
I had a affinity for punching stuff and just like I didn't really have nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I know somebody who could help me out with this punching and kicking. The kind of thing where your friends like, my uncle could kick your uncle's butt, and I was like,
Everybody say that.
Yeah, exactly. But then he turned out dude was a world champion. I was like, all right, your uncle can't
Maybe
kick.
you
Like
got a
this
point.
discussion's over.
Benjamin Bowie. Like attaboy, but like you put the buoy on the end. Attaboy. 39 professional fights.
Yes.
How many total? Because people think you just did 39 fights. And
Actually, I really just did 39 fights because.
Really?
Yeah, I started.
So you just went straight into it?
Yeah. because
What?
I started very, very young. My first fight was directly professional, so.
Really?
Yeah, not many people know I'm straight.
You must have been a beast growing up.
Oh, yeah.
How do you kickbox but still keep your hair like so smooth like that?
I didn't get good genetics, but I got good hair, I guess. So.
Chris Camonzi! You're a North American guy fighting in glory. How does that happen?
I wrestled growing up, and then and just decided to go to an MMA gym and start training for fun. Just because from wrestling, I wanted to do something for a workout.
Gotcha.
Never planned on fighting, anything like that. And
So you just kind of just fell into it.
yeah, just fell into it. You know, and the rest is history.
Just
I
end
got
up
hooked
being
right
really,
after.
really good. Tiffany Van Soos! Your nickname is the Time Bomb. So which one is more deadly? Is it your left hook or your left kick?
What about my right side?
I don't know. I just said the closest thing to me. Like I think like the left kick. Whoa, okay.
Just kidding.
Kevin Van Nostrand. Yeah, I don't want you to kick me or nothing like that, man. It hurts.
So I was told.
How did you get involved in kickboxing?
Kickboxing. It started off when I was 8 years old. Bloodsport was out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So I went like 16-0 before I lost. I lost one fight.
You remember his
He was-
name, huh?
My trainer reminds me every once in a while to keep me humble. But
How you do a kick? You kick this high? So you gotta teach me trash talk in Thai. Like what's the trash talk?
Huh?
Dumb what? Dumb and doing! Damn, really cool. What you got me saying, man?
Kickboxing is not like the biggest sport in Mexico, like as boxing, you know, but this is getting bigger in the last years in Mexico. So I hope to take glory to Mexico someday.
Yeah, you're gonna be the face of it, man.
Yeah,
You know, you the man. You got the face for it, man. You know, you probably can dance a little bit and all that type of stuff too, man. We gotta get you on Dancing with the Stars, man. I know like a lot of football players think that they could box, but it's totally different. They think they got hands,
But they're freak
They
athletes.
don't.
I think they could pick it up quicker than I could pick up like what they do.
I doubt it. I would block like this. I don't like, and then that's when I
that's
would
what you
lose.
don't wanna do.
Exactly. Like I
You don't
want
wanna catch it.
It's different stepping in that ring, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get slapped in front of everybody if you're playing around.
And
so.
yeah, you got to play until you get kicked in the face.
Right?
That's what I like about the sport so much. Glory, it's action-packed. You stand toe-to-toe, and you go at it.
You can't just rush somebody, man, and just go to town
Good
on them.
luck.
Once you kick as hard as you can kick, so once you feel that, that's tight. I like that feeling. Knowing I can use that power feels good.
When it's just you and your opponent, like what is that like?
Everything is like in slow motion, but hyper speed at the same time. And all of my senses become like heightened immensely.
Yes.
I mean, I can hear the crowd, but at the same time, it's super muffled. You're purely in the moment, and your instincts and your training and something within just kind of takes over.
They all seem so nice. I don't understand how they can flip that switch and become the fighting machines that they are. I can't even do the stare down.
Coming up next.
My shin slid up his shin, so that caused a cut. So in between the round, my Thai trainer, he broke open a cigarette and stuffed tobacco in my cut.
What does that have to do?
It's a vasoconstrictor tobacco, so it stops the blood. I mean, it was probably the smartest thing to do at the time with the stuff that we had.
If you say so.
I'm gonna light on you.
No, go hard. Go hard.
All right, okay.
Oh, I thought you just gonna punch first, man. Come on, dog, you can't. I was gearing up for the punch, and then you came on this side.
My shin slid up his shin, so that caused a cut. So in between the round, my Thai trainer, he broke open a cigarette and stuffed tobacco in my cut.
What does that have to do?
It's a vasoconstrictor tobacco, so it stops the blood. I mean, it was probably the smartest thing to do at the time with the stuff that we had.
If you say so. What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Spice Adams. I'm about to train. I'm about to become a pro kickboxer. So let's kick it. I'm ready. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm pretty scared right now. I am intimidated.
Troy Jones!
All right, Troy, let's get to work.
Let's do it. You gotta make the sound effects too. Just like that, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet, man.
Keep your hips forward. Push your hips in instead of here. I want to be like here. Because if you're too forward, you're gonna fall for it, right?
I hear you saying stuff. I can't register what
You can actually use what you've done in football to better you in martial arts. Agility training, the strength training, the explosion training. It all translates well.
Okay.
Up and down, you want to open the hips. Just like that, nice.
How many times you gotta do that?
200.
200, God.
Wait, oh. Oh, he cut.
Oh, he cut, yeah. Oh, he needs some tobacco.
Yeah, he do.
Tobacco in there.
Rounds go on. You're going to see the experience of Chastain come through.
So he a southpaw, huh?
Yeah, he's switching. It just creates different angles for you to strike. It causes problems for the other guy because his brain has to adjust to that, so it gives you a split second to get something out.
See the frustration expression on his face. He was hoping to come out of this bout.
The uppercut, because the guy keeps dipping like what you were doing, bending you at the waist.
He is damaged.
With fighting, like any punch, any kick can end the fight. You gotta still be careful.
Oh, he's done. He's done. Do like a little, just like a little.
You ready?
Just like a.
I got
come on,
you,
dog, for real.
I got you.
And you. My legs, Troy. I don't know if I can do it, Troy.
Come on, man.
My legs.
So when you're looking at the bag, I want to step off outside of the bag. You're gonna get some depth with that step.
Like that's what would happen in the match.
That's easy,
One of those. All right, here we go. Step off to the side.
Step off.
Step here like this.
Just like that. Get the hips in there. Get the hips in.
Then-
Like you're doing a Dougie.
Yeah, that felt good, man.
All right.
Can you open hand?
You got gloves on.
Oh yeah, but you can fake it though, right?
You can
You
fake
can
it.
fake like you.
You can do that, but you're doing something. You're doing advanced.
Oh, that's advanced.
That's advanced.
I'm advanced. Y'all heard him. So what type of recovery do you do? Like you get in a cold tub?
Yeah, we do cryo, sauna, we do massage, we do supplements, a lot of supplements.
What do you have right here?
It's an electronic muscle stimulator. So you just stick the pads on to your target area. You can set what the pain level is at from 0 to 10. So I'm gonna say I'm about a 2 right now. You might be at a 10.
Yeah. I got them big tree trunks too, man.
Tell me when to stop.
Okay. All right, brother. Okay.
You trying to turn it up a little bit?
Nope. Man, they beat me up. My workout is their warm-up. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to follow, like, and share.
Coming up next.
Okay, I'm ready. Yes! Oh! Yo, respect, man. Yeah, I don't want to do that no more.
Here is Asa 10 pounds. A big ovation here for the American Ninja.
Besides yourself, who do you think is the next up-and-coming face of kickboxing?
No, I can't say that.
Can't say it?
Can't say that. No. Absolutely, I'm the face. If you want to say who else, I think
let's keep it real.
Who else I think is like
let's
exciting?
Keep it real, then.
Yeah, I'll keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm the face. I'm gonna be the face.
All right.
But
talk your talk,
as
man.
far as like the next crop of Americans that have come up, we are in that phase of the North Americans making their name, and I hope to be a front runner.
What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Spice. Some of these boxers are half my age, and they've been boxing since they were 5 and 6. The freshest face is Becca Irwin. Let's kick it. I can't lift my leg over there. So what's it like being so young and also being a female in this brutal sport?
It's a little different. It's a little complicated, you know, having to balance like school and having to balance everything else. Because I was in sports too. I was in volleyball, I was in track.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the contact a lot more.
Tiffany Van Soos.
These younger girls coming up, this next generation, man, they're good.
Yeah.
Becca, especially, I know she's like 19, you know, spent some time in Thailand training and competing. Huge crowds, like thousands and thousands of people. And to have the experience that she does and the skill that she does at such a young age, man, the sky's the limit for that girl.
So, but what if y'all got in the ring together?
I would have to show her what's up. You know, I'm older, but I'm not expired. You know, that's where my experience would come in.
What you like better, low kicks or high kicks?
I like body kicks the best. Because my low kicks are a little, I don't really throw them as much as I do my body kick. My body kicks are the biggest thing for me.
1, 2, 3. Yikes!
Charles Rodriguez.
My
I'm getting new kids coming into my gym all the time, and it's so great to see that energy, because like most of the times it'd be like, oh, I did this sport, I did that sport, and kids are coming in like, I've been doing Muay Thai for 5 years, I want to try this. I'm like, that's tight.
I think it's about having the platform or the space for them to get experience. Local gyms starting kids programs. You know, once there's like a well-established kids program with good instructors.
Sometimes I look at just how her stance is. If she's like leaning back too much, then I'm gonna kind of pressure her.
It's a lot of power right there.
Yeah,
like
sometimes she does kick a little too hard on like, that's when I call like 10 kicks right, 10 kicks.
Yeah.
Benjamin Abdegboui.
I have a kid, you know, he's 4 years old, and I would love him to do kickboxing, because he's some shadow boxing in the house.
Okay.
How daddy's doing, like, so,
You know, I have 4 kids, you know, ages 11, 9, 8, 6.
That's fighting age.
Yeah.
You're in charge of 4 human lives.
Yes.
So the development, you know, how they grow up and how they contribute to the world, that's kind of a little bit of your responsibility right now, is it?
Tiffany, relax.
The youngest I've seen that really picked up on it, and it goes from child to child, but I think the youngest I've seen that really get it was like 7 years old. I feel like at those ages, it's where it's the most transferable though. Like they're learning lessons that have nothing to do with going in the ring. They're learning how to pay attention, they're learning how to like coordinate their bodies, they're learning balance. So like there's still things that I'm teaching them about fighting that's connecting outside of their lives.
A lot of people, and like, you know, we do classes and stuff like that, and they'll hold the pads out, so they turn their body out, and so this creates an angle of the kick going out, so it's not realistic as the body. And notice I'm in like a fight stance, so when she kicks, it's right there. It would go through me if I didn't have those pads on.
All right, I'll try it.
Do a soft one first.
Oh! A little recoil right there, and like all in this thing. Yes! Oh! Yo, respect, man. Yeah, I don't want to do that no more.
Oh my gosh, I felt that in every bone in my body. I know you felt that on the other side of the camera. Oh my goodness. But the thing is, it's a whole new level of kids right now that are coming up.
Coming up next.
Oi, keep your back straight, so I'm shooting. Through
Yeah, mine didn't look like that.
Stepping over, shooting the kick. Oi! But if I direct my attack into my heel, into your liver, there's a small pinpoint, that's gonna hurt a lot.
No, it was legal. It was legal.
Would you like to try? Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of weight transferring through. There it is. Stepping over, shooting the kick. Oh! So you want the leg to almost extend straight, but we don't want to be too jammed up. We don't want to be like, keep your back straight. So I'm shooting through my opponent.
Mine didn't look like that.
All right, I learned a few of the basics by hitting the bag, but now I need to learn some moves, put a little bit of style into it.
The easiest to attempt, I would say, for you right now is a scissor push kick. So basically, you're shuffling your feet, you're faking with the right and kicking with the left, or you can do like Danielson and karate kick it.
The crane kick.
Crane kick, exactly. He won that big tournament. We're gonna try and go over it?
Yeah.
First movement, we're just gonna bring up that right. Now, we're gonna go small step, right, left. Hey, there we go. And now as the kick come out, bam. Yes, sir. Look at that. Yes, because after you're done, we don't want our hands to be down. So I'm gonna come right back. So as you go to kick, good, and coming back, yes.
You don't eat like no junk food at all.
Like a lot of pasta and a lot of
pasta. No, man. I'm talking about like some cake or something.
When I'm fit, you know, I move better.
How many fights do you think you need before you can say, all right, I think I can go pro?
For myself as an amateur, I have over 60 fights, and I've done MMA, boxing, kickboxing, regular boxing, sanshou. So I've done a lot of different styles. That way I know whatever is in front of me, I've seen it before and I'm more comfortable with. Once you get into the professionals that you're ready to fight, the highest level, you've beaten up Joe Schmo from down there, and now you're fighting like #1 killer in the world. So that's what you have to kind of prepare yourself for.
For your winner by unanimous decision, Asa 10 pounds.
I eat lamb, I eat beef, I eat fish, raw eggs.
Raw eggs?
Yeah, just the egg yolk. It's good. It's got the, why are you hating on my raw eggs?
I can't do it. I can't do the raw egg.
What I like to do, I scramble like 2 or 3, so that's normal, right? And then just...
That is normal.
And then break an egg yolk and mix it in with the scrambled eggs. So that way, you're still getting the scrambled eggs, like it's cooked, but you get the enzymes and the benefits of the raw yolk also.
Just like saying the word raw.
How about not cooked?
Good stretch for your hips. Good for this kick. Let's sit on our butt. Nice, easy one.
All right, I can do that.
Now, I just want you to put your hands behind your back and kind of lift up, take the weight off your back. And now with my toes, pull them back. Now I want you to turn your knees in. Turn your toes. You feeling that one? You have to have flexibility for balance and control. No control and no balance behind your kicks. Yeah, let's fly a little bit.
I can't fly. The only thing you have to worry about is just like personally how you feel.
Being healthy.
You can be whatever size you want.
Exactly. When you eat a lot of crabs, then after 1.5 hours in training, my liver is like,
boom! I've been doing this vegetarian thing now, man, for almost a year.
You brave soul.
Listen, 4th of July, I made hot dogs, I made cheeseburgers, I made ribs, I made pork chops, I made
You did this
steak.
to yourself?
I didn't eat any of it.
Self-discipline, got it. Fighting the best in the world, you have to act like the best in the world.
You always think he's out. Oh no, he may be out. What a shot from
You see in the movies, they're pointing the gun at you and you're like, okay?
Yeah,
Don't do that in real life though.
Everything hurts, man. I'm trying to like stop stuff from hurting right now. That's what I'm doing. Where you go?
So the shuffle is really tight and really sneaky. So you're watching up here, bang, right underneath.
Damn! that was impressive, man. That was quick.
Spice versus this pad. Round 1. Fight.
Oi! Get it.
KO.
It take a lot of energy, man.
It does.
Round 2.
There we go.
Fight.
Give me some wata. Wata! There we go. Now you gotta try and boot it out of my hand.
KO!
Okay.
I'm done. All right, everybody, I got it. All the combos, all the fake outs, all the moves, all the style points. I got it, baby. Y'all be on the lookout for Spice Stretch Mark Adams.
Coming up next.
A kickboxer is strong, brave, determined, and also they scare me a lot. So I hear that you do poetry.
I do.
You tell me if you like this or not.
All right.
Okay. A kickboxer is strong, brave, determined, and also they scare me a lot. Oh, I gotta laugh. Boom. My legs cannot reach higher than my waist, so I had to buy new pants.
Glory is a platform for the brave, but will they validate my parking?
The end. Thank you. Soul claps, yes, light an incense.
All right, everybody, we got a special episode for you. It's all about the women of glory. I think they all just want to fight and win, but I want to see what type of challenges they face and see just how tough they really are.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main event between the world's top 2 female stand-up fighters.
It's gonna be the best fight of the night by far. Because Anissa has the belt right now, she's the champion.
What you gonna be looking for in this?
Yeah, how they both move, how they start, how different their aggression is now, because I know that Anissa wants to come out and finish her.
What's the best thing to do against Anissa? Just like
You have
do a couple
to,
moves and get out of there?
yeah, you can't let her play her range though, because she'll outpoint anybody, so you have to get in there and, like Tiffany was saying, like make it a dogfight, you know?
She is attacking.
Yeah,
Okay, Tiff.
Tiffany Van Soos!
So, what are some misconceptions about female fighters?
That we're all really, really like tough and mean. We're just normal women, but as women, we have something in us. We're the givers of life, you know. So there's a fierceness about us that comes with that.
Charles Rodriguez!
So with the young females and the young males that come to your gym, like what's the difference between the two?
I feel like when the guys are about it, they have like pride attached to it.
They're doing it just to get abs.
Yeah, exactly. If a girl comes in there wanting to fight, they want to fight. No one's gonna think they're cooler because they fight. They're just like, hey, I want to fight, and that's all I want.
Are you overprotective when it comes to your brother?
Alex Pereira! Pereira!
What do you feel about females doing kickboxing?
Também não só minha irmã, as mulheres vêm mostrando, né, que leva jeito pro esporte. Eu acho que é um esporte para todo mundo, né?
So how can more women get involved?
I think we need to band together. You know, there's strength in unity, strength in numbers.
Yeah.
The more women that are into it and that support it and that do it, you know, the more that it's gonna grow. We just gotta keep it going. You know, we're sisters. You know, our sisters. We gotta stay strong and do the thing together.
Oh, she busted her up on the face. Look at her cheek.
Who's that?
Anissa, look at her cheek. On her.
Oh yeah, wow.
They got a big old knot. Since this one's for the title, all championship fights, they go 5 rounds.
How does the training differ from like training for a 3-round fight and then a 5?
Some people it won't differ, you know. Some people train the same for all of it. Some people are just crazy with it. But I would say definitely more like the cardio, more like high intensity stuff like that.
Anissa Maxson!
Tell me about your opponent. What do you know about your opponent?
Évidemment que j'ai identifié des failles contre elle. On a essayé de les travailler à l'entraînement justement pour optimiser et faire en sorte que le jour J, les failles deviennent mes forces à moi et que je la mette KO tout simplement.
This is nice. I like this.
The craftsmanship.
Tout le monde la veut cette ceinture, donc forcément elles vont essayer de l'avoir, mais tant que je suis là, elles l'auront pas.
I mean, she doesn't seem to think so, but we bring out the best in each other.
So she can't win unless you let her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, Tiffany is deep, man.
3 minutes to go for the Super Bantamweight Championship of the World.
Tiff is aggressive, man.
Yeah, I think she's breaking Anissa, honestly, because she's never fought her like this before.
So that's how she improved, just being on that attack mode?
Yeah, I think so. I know she switched camps for this one too, though. So, I mean, I'm seeing more like not as much.
Fantastic battle between the 2 best female kickboxers in the world. And new Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Tiffany Van Soos.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Tiff beat Anissa last night, and for some reason, I know this war ain't over.
Coming up next.
So the same people that make Floyd Mayweather's bag, I had them make this. It's 130 pounds, I believe, but everything's custom on it. This is the same bag Canelo Alvarez had, you know, so I had to add it to my collection.
Okay.
I really like it because obviously it's good for body shots. With the water bag, when you hit it, it's real easy on your shoulder.
I feel like hitting the body as opposed to hitting the bag.
This is the same thing, right?
Yeah, same deal. But this is more uppercuts.
You don't kick it. Why don't you kick it?
Would you like to kick it?
No. I know, but people watching may not know.
I don't say nothing. I just watch him. I just watch him kick it, and then I watch him fall to the ground.
What's up, everybody? It's Spice.
And as I'm beginning to understand Glory Kickboxing, I also understand that you need specific gyms to work out in. Today, I talk with Richard Abraham, who has his own gym right here in Chicago. Let's kick it.
So, like, what makes a good kickboxing gym and what makes a bad kickboxing gym?
I know that my gym, like out of all my gyms, and all, like of course,
It don't
biased.
stink.
Yeah, first of all, the smell is superb. But no, my favorite thing about my gym is it's just very family. We got to juxtapose the intensity and the violent reality of what's going on, and with that, I need to be in like an environment with people that I trust, that I know are also taking care of me, like that are gonna beating the hell out of me, but also like once I'm down, they're gonna help me up. So just having that respect, having that compassion, and just like everyone's down to teach, everyone's down to learn. We got that high level of competition. You can't have that in everything.
So what do all these pictures mean to you, man? You wouldn't just put them up there for nothing.
Yeah, so they're just points in time in my career.
Richard Maximus Abraham.
What made you want to open up your own gym, Rich?
Started about almost 6 years ago. I was always fighting and stuff, but my son passed away at 5 days old, and
Sorry to hear that.
his name was Maximus.
What is it like, though? I mean, you see Maximus on shirts, you see it on heavy bags. What is that like?
It's a father fulfilling his promise to his son.
You grew up in Denver, right?
Yeah.
How does, I don't know, like coming out of Denver is just a lot of like kickboxers coming out of Denver.
See, I don't think a lot of people realize is Denver's a big fight town, you know?
Really?
A lot of the top guys are in Denver. And it's just a big, big fight city. We have MMA gyms, kickboxing gyms, jiu-jitsu gyms everywhere.
What's your favorite bag in there?
My favorite bag in there has got to be the one that's over here. Everything about it, it's awesome to hit. It's 130 pounds, I believe, but everything's custom on it. I originally called them. I was like, all right, I need 10 of them. And they told me the price, it was like $800. And I'm like, I mean one. I meant 10 minus 9, 1.
The welterweight division, I know you take a lot.
Now the opportunity for guys to fight like 5, 6, 7 times a year is a lot more available than before when I was coming up, when you'd get 3, maybe 4, and these are amateurs.
Yeah.
But you gotta like travel.
When you walk into a gym, that's a dojo. That's a sacred place. That's where you train and hone your skills and gain your character. So it's not something to be taken lightly.
So like, what's a typical day for you?
Typically I get up around 4 a.m. Get my workout.
By 4?
No, 4 a.m. I usually start my workout, so I'm usually up by like 3:30, 3:45.
Oh my gosh.
I get my workout in, come home, shower or whatever, eat some breakfast, spend a little time with my kids, back in the gym teaching a little bit of class, and then I train again at night from 8 to 10, and then I'm in bed about 11, maybe 11:30.
Into a right hand. It was, and a left hook lands for Abraham. But
So what advice can you give, up and coming young kickboxers?
Be diligent, be patient, and don't ever think you can cheat the grind or skip. It only comes from one thing, and that's countless hours of hard work.
Yeah.
Richard gets up every day at 4 a.m. to work out. To see his level of dedication, not only to the sport, but to the Glory community, is amazing. I'm gonna set my alarm right now. 7 a.m.
coming up next.
I feel the tension. Feel it. Can you stop, man? I feel the tension. Feel it. Can you stop, man? How long y'all gonna do that for? He can't understand what I'm saying. Glory has come to Chicago, and I want to see what goes into these events. So I met up with the announcers to see what it takes to call a fight.
Standing 6 feet even, 1.83 meters, he weighed in at 310 pounds, 141 kilograms. Fighting out of the Windy City in Chicago, Illinois, by way of Detroit, Michigan, here is the star of social media and television, known as always cooking something up, Anthony Spice Adams!
shit, he's still right here?
No, he moved.
Oh, he moved? Okay.
You need to do this for me.
Oh, shoot.
Are you ready for glory?
Okay. Are you ready for glory? Yeah! Saw you at weigh-ins.
Yeah.
And it was still on. Do you always have to be on all the time?
There's a switch. You know, you don't talk like that all the time. Otherwise, people would think you're weird.
So, go to the grocery store. Hand me those pickles. What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Spice Adams, and I am here with Joe and Ty, the Glory announcers. So, doing 30 fights, like, how do you prepare for that? It's like almost having 30 tests.
I'm the what guy. Yeah. So I tell you what has happened, what's going on. He's the how and why.
More technical.
Yeah. He tells you how it happened and why.
So he freaks out, loses his mind. Oh my God, knockout of the year. And then I have to explain why it's the knockout of the year. You know, how he set it up, how he got it.
The whole time I'll be like, oh man, did you see that? Of course you saw it. Like y'all watching it on TV and everything.
You're gonna call this one right?
Oh!
There you go, see? Yeah, that's
his face broke his fall.
That's usually how all my calls start. Oh!
That's the start, there you go.
It's just because he gets kicked and watch he goes to the ground. So I'm like, oh my God, head kick. Espiri is down. Is he gonna get up? And it was over.
Was this your knockout of the year call?
No.
It's just so much more epic in slow-mo too, eh?
You saw his face?
Facial expression.
Either way, slow-mo, regular motion, that all looked like it hurt. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go. Zinedine Hammerlane fighting out of France, light heavyweight division.
Yeah, I trained with this guy.
Taking on Freddie Camayo here, also a fellow British right-handed. And there's a big high kick, and he's down. Ooh la la! Viva la France! We've got a new world champion, Spice!
All right, Todd, let's calm down. Let's go through the motions. He pushes him off here, he's setting him up. Right there, the left, I think it stunned him, and then you see right there the kick to finish him off. Todd, you got anything else?
It's not so much the fight, it's the 6 to 8 weeks preparation they did to get ready for the fight.
Correct.
So it's the same thing with me and Joe. If he hasn't watched any of their fights, hasn't taken any notes, he's gonna suck. Even more than he does already.
Okay,
so,
look at that.
It's all about the preparation,
you see the low blows?
Spice.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's a low blow.
I think I would fare.
As an announcer or a fighter?
No, as a fighter.
As a fighter? You'd probably hold your own. I don't know. How are your hips and your knees?
My hips.
Rico Verhoeven is about that tall, and his thighs are about that big. So you tell me, how would you fare in a ring against a guy like that? Because you'd be a heavyweight. You're just too quick.
Yeah.
So not well is what you're saying.
That's where it all goes down, baby. The calm before the storm. We're here in the locker room. This is where the guys come before they go out in the boxing ring and get it in. What's up? What's up, Rockstar?
Spice, how you doing, sir?
See, he'll kick it with me. Some people don't say nothing, but not the Rockstar. He cool like that.
I gotta recognize that game when I see it, though.
One time? Are you ready?
Oh, God. Yeah. And it's got a steel plate in it. It does.
Oh, now you tell me.
It does.
Clean up, man. That's rough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, you're good. That's what I like, baby. That's it.
His former Chicago Bears defensive tackle now tackles Glory stand-up combat. Please welcome to the Glory ring, Anthony Spice Adams!
So today, we met with the announcers to see what it takes to call a fight and also everything that goes along with it. I'm gonna be ready the next time Glory comes to town. I got the basics down, I know the moves, I know the fighters, and I know what makes them tick. I'm ready.
Coming up next.
Right hand, jab. Woo!
All right, cool. So, like, what's the first step right now?
So, first step is I usually go around the wrist 7 or 8 times. Just kind of depends on the wrist.
I got a fat wrist.
Yep. The biggest thing is I put this over the knuckle. And whenever you fight, whenever you connect with someone, you got to make sure these don't break and these don't good. The goal is to make a cast so that everything over there sits comfortable. So you see, knuckles sit in here, wrists are good to go. Right hand, jab. Whew.
Glory has shown me a lot, and I've definitely learned a lot. But what does the future hold for Glory in North America?
They look at distance, but when they're coming forward, you get the elbow.
Do you understand like the Glory rules? Knockdowns score the highest. Damage scores the second highest. Spectacular attacks like flying knees, spinning stuff. Then it goes to just regular, normal strikes that land and then ring control.
Doesn't want to sit there and overbox.
In kickboxing, we do a 10-point must system here in America. One person will get 10 points, the other one will get a 9. You get a knockdown, you lose a point, so it becomes a 10-8.
Gotcha.
That's the jab, and that might be a knockdown, yeah.
As far as spectacular techniques, they are supposed to be graded higher. So, like, how much is it taking the athlete to do this technique and to score is usually how they'll grade it.
Is that a spinning back fist combination into a right hand?
We try and do everything to be familiar with the time of a round. So, like, when you're in the match, you're always aware of like how long the time is. You know, you're in a firefight with somebody, you're aware of how much time's left in the round, or you're down on points in the round, and you know you have 30 seconds left, you can push it, you know. So we try to do everything to the time of the fight.
The sad thing to me is that more people don't know what Glory Kickboxing is all about because there are so many other things.
What do you think Glory has to do to expand that, and especially in North America?
I always say with 3 3-minute rounds in kickboxing, you either get busy or somebody gets busy on you.
Yeah.
You get in and you fight with strikes either in punches or kicks, the same number of strikes thrown in 3 3-minute rounds as you'll see in a boxing fight in 10.
We need stars and we need to get out there and get noticed because I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you come to an event and you've never seen kickboxing and you watch it, you're like, man, this is incredible.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't like MMA because they go to the ground and you can't tell what they're doing and there's blood. This is pure stand-up strike. Oh, big left hand that buckled wrong. And I've called boxing. I've called some of the biggest boxing fights the last couple years, and I love this way better. It's just 3 rounds and it's so much more exciting.
Rounds down, covers up, and now Van Sue's going for that knockout she so desperately wants. Coming up next.
And when I'm fighting, I'm just competing against another human. Doesn't care if you're there or not, it's gonna do what it does. In a fight, I'm in the ring with another human that I know has flaws, that has emotions, that has feelings.
Wow, that is deep. So in your opinion, what are the struggles that North Americans face in kickboxing?
The biggest one has to be time and experience. We have different sports, different scholastic sports that we push our children to. The opportunities that the Europeans and the Asians fight with, they get fights all the time, every other week. So it's constant for them, it's their job, as opposed to us, we fight maybe once every 3 months. So it takes longer, so the gap is gonna be long until we have more shows here, more quality, good shows, and guys that have a passion for it. That's the other thing, and not just in it for the money.
Everybody I know that watches it, when I tell them about Glory, they become an instant fan.
Glory's blowing up in a big way, just combat sports in general.
The more and more you guys compete, are y'all starting to see a lot more people from North America start kickboxing?
Com certeza, a gente está vindo, está fazendo um excelente trabalho, está divulgando o kickboxing, está sendo muito bem visto e eu acho que as portas é aberta para todos, né? E respondendo a pergunta, sim, na América, então com certeza vai ter muitos desafiantes.
And new super bantamweight champion of the world,
Are you a surfer? You like to surf?
Love surfing.
Because you're from California, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a requirement, but a lot of people do it.
Are there similarities in surfing and kickboxing?
Absolutely. You have to be in the moment because it's always changing and it's always shifting, and you have to keep your wits about you.
So which one's harder?
I think surfing's harder.
What?
Yeah, you're competing with nature's greatest force, the ocean. And when I'm fighting, I'm just competing against another human. Doesn't care if you're there or not, it's gonna do what it does. In a fight, I'm in the ring with another human that I know has flaws, that has emotions, that has feelings.
Wow, that is deep.
We shadow box, we want to visualize that someone's in front of us, so we're going to block and everything, not just throw the strike. So it's offense and defense, just mimicking the fight.
How much of this is just muscle memory, like, because, I mean, of course you have to do it over and over and over again.
Right.
But
So all these things like that, like a push kick, we have at the end of a session, they're gonna do probably 200 push kicks at the end of the session. So all these little movements are things that we break down, and we do kickouts where it's nothing but round kicks to the body. So it's just putting all the little things we do into the shadow boxing, into the fight. So like every one of these weapons, like that's a teep, now that's a block to a kick, we drill that all the time. It's one of the things, like when she had a couple like head kick knockouts in a world tournament one time, and people asked y'all, we don't like specifically do that, but she just did it, It's not like we sought to head kick someone. It's just the girl threw a kick and she returned it, something she drills all the time.
Oh, and another high kick, and that sends us buried down. This fight is over, ladies and gentlemen.
Glory Kickboxing. Where do I begin? I learned so much about low kicks, about high kicks, about spinning kicks, about how to defend everything. It's a lot to take in. North America is starting to develop a kickboxing nation. There's still a lot of work to do, but keep an eye on this. Let me know who your favorite fighter was in the comments below. It's okay to say me.